Hey guys, welcome to Scandinavia's Coffee for another episode here in Hemsedal, Norway. I'm joined with Ulle Christian Bøhn, Norwegian Brewer of 2020.
Yeah.
I always get that mixed up. So we're here today. The episode is all about competition coffee.
Yeah.
And Ulle, as a matter of fact, is actually competing next week at Nationals. So we thought that would be quite a fun episode.
Quite excited for that, actually.
Yeah. And then we'll talk about this month's subscription coffee after. So, Ulle, talk to me about this. Why do people compete?
I think it's when we get into coffee competitions, you know that you have this really nice community. We always want to learn. I think the competition is just a great way to do that. When I started in coffee, I didn't know anything about competition.
Right.
I just saw something on Facebook. It was a regional championship in 2018 in the Brewers Cup. Didn't know the rules, didn't know anything. I just, I'm brewing some V60 at home, maybe I can learn something.
Yeah.
I went there. Of course, I went out, but I was met Odd Steinar Tellefsen. He was the World Brewers Cup champion from 2015, so that was 3 years before. And he was just so helpful, talking about do this, do that, let me brew your coffee, and I just, oh wow,
Okay.
I really feel invited here.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not working in coffee, just you are together with the community. That's why
It's a
I
pretty
do
tight
it.
community, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so talk to me, like, what's your game plan in terms of, like, what do you start with? Do you start with the coffee or a recipe or?
I very often start
Routine?
with routine, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Because I need to just repeat the routine in my head over and over again. I need to just have something, a topic that I really believe in.
Yeah.
And just when I'm driving to work or commuting to work or picking up the kids in kindergarten or something like that, I'm just sitting to myself and repeating the routine all over again.
Okay.
And that's all about, after that, it's all about finding the right coffee
Yeah.
for that routine.
Okay. And for the people who don't know at home what competition coffee is, especially the Specialty Association, talk to us. What is the actual competition in terms of the rules or the outline of how it goes?
First of all, there's a lot of coffee competitions,
Yeah.
and it's for the nerds to be honest. But we have a lot of different. I do Brewers Cup, that is like with the pour-overs.
Yeah, filter coffee.
Filter coffee. That's 2 rounds. First round is you choose a coffee that you choose yourself. It's all about describing that coffee the best possible way, brew it the best possible way, and you get scored about the sweetness, acidity, mouthfeel, everything.
Yeah.
And you have barista. That's the most famous coffee competition. If you win the barista championship, you are like superstar.
It's a big deal, yeah.
And then you do espresso, a milk drink, and a signature drink to 4 judges. That's more intense in 15 minutes.
That's a lot of planning, right?
And we have a lot of different, we have latte art and we have cup tasting. And there's a lot of different coffee.
Those are the main 4 competitions,
Coffee
I guess?
competition, yeah.
Okay, so you're in filter coffee.
Yeah.
So talk to us about, okay, so you find a routine or a theme, I guess? Is
Yeah.
that- And then what about for the next week, what's the coffee you're using? And
I've been back and forward actually this year because I had 2 very different options. One coffee was from Esmeralda, Hacienda Esmeralda in Panama. Super sweet and clean. And that was closely linked to my routine this year about simplicity, the beautiful of simplicity.
like it.
Yeah, and I also had a coffee from Wilder Lasso in Colombia. That's a quite different coffee.
Yeah.
That's an anaerobic fermented sidra. Super just boozy and a lot of flavors.
Yeah.
And I was back and forward, but I think we'll go with Esmeralda.
Nice. And then, so talk to me so you have how many judges when you're competing? Like
When you're judging in competing in Brewers Cup, it's you're brewing 3 coffees at the same time.
Same coffee?
Same coffee.
Yeah.
To 3 different judges.
Yeah.
And you have one technical judge that watch how good you are at doing the things you say you do.
Right.
And if you're pouring like 20 grams in one dripper, 21 grams in the second one, and maybe 19 in the third one, then it gets scored lower.
Okay.
So they watch everything. How
Yeah.
many pours you do, how how accurate you are,
Yeah.
and how consistent you are.
And what about your delivery or your tone or
That's also important.
cadence? Is that all
Yeah.
judged too?
Yeah.
So there's judges kind of around you as well,
Yeah.
not just the three in front.
Yeah. So technical judges, and of course, but the most important ones is the taste.
The tasting notes.
judging. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And then how you describe the flavor notes
Yeah.
is super key, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If
So
if you say that the coffee tastes, this coffee tastes like strawberry.
Yeah.
And
It better.
tastes like chocolate,
Okay.
you get score lower.
Okay.
So that's for the nerds, but it's a really interesting game because you have so many variables that you can fine tune.
Right.
You can fine tune roasting, grind size, water, of course coffee. So it's so many things you can change.
Yeah.
And learn from.
And what would be your top 5 tips or secrets of success to people out there who are looking to get into maybe competition?
Get into competition?
Competing for their first time.
I think just do like me. The first year I competed, I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Just went there, but I was welcome. And I think that was the reason why I continued to do it.
So just learning as a...
Yeah.
Okay.
And for people brewing filter coffee at home, you have like so many different drippers that you can choose from. That's no matter if you do competitions or not. I think there's too many options. Just go with a V60, go with something similar, go with something that you knew.
Go with one you know, maybe.
Yeah, definitely,
brew at home.
and use that.
Yeah.
Instead of try to be
Too fancy.
too fancy. Yeah.
Okay. And so, what are you brewing for next week? What's your brew?
Next week we are going a little bit back to basics using V60, metal V60.
Okay,
With a quite easy recipe.
Is that what you used first time when you won?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, the first time I won the nationals, I used to switch this one.
Switch. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then what about? Talk to me about the roasting. How many days lead up? How do you maybe introduce yourself to a roaster to find a competition coffee? Because I assume you didn't just call up Panama Esmeralda and be like, "Hey, I'm competing in Norway. Can I get some of your expensive coffee?" Or
Luckily, I have a good relationship with Esmeralda, so that's I'm very thankful for that because, of course, competition coffee is expensive.
very expensive.
It's not coffee that you can buy in the normal grocery store.
Yeah.
Or a coffee bar.
So maybe that's something for the viewers. Like these competition style coffees are, very rare.
Yeah.
And much more expensive. Right?
How would you describe a competition coffee?
That's a good question. I would say they're very intense. You almost too intense in some ways to drink them. Like they're cool to taste these kind of unique flavors and expressiveness, but would you want to buy 1 kilo? Not for me, but very super fruity if it's a natural. Very clean, very sweet. I mean, very complex. I think the aromatics are so complex that you're almost overwhelmed by how complex they are. They're really interesting. I find them.
And we actually roasted some competition coffee today on this machine.
Yeah, the nucleus link.
Yeah. So can we talk a little bit about this one?
Sure.
What's the benefit of this roaster?
What's the benefit? It does sample roasting, so you're doing only up to 100 grams you can do. So for, say, your coffee, which is 1,200 US a kilo, you don't ruin a 1 kilo batch or anything above that. So you can, and then you can get many profiles out of a certain coffee, right? So it's super handy to have. We did, 8 batches on yours? With different profiles from different people, from Sam Cora.
Shout out to Sam Cora.
Shout out to Sam, because he's actually one of the founders of this machine.
Yeah.
So it's a super cool machine. And
so this is not the machine you're using to roast coffee that you sell at coffee shops.
No, it's more for when we get green coffee in from our importer. We can take a little batch, roast it, and then just to find out what the characters of the coffee are. To say we want to buy it or we don't want to buy it. So it's been a pretty handy tool so far, Or for competitions like now. Okay, talk to me. What else about the lead up to the competition? What are you thinking about doing? How are you doing it? Like how long you say you're roasting your coffee in between?
Like we talked about, there's so many things that you can possibly change. Roasting profile, roasting time, grinder, water, dripper. you can easily get
You
confused.
can geek out, yeah.
Yeah.
But the ones that you see most people doing.
So I think
on the national stage.
the way I do it, I won the Brewers Cup in 2020. I've been in the finals each year since. I've not been able to win it again, so it's a hard game.
Right.
But let's see how it goes next week.
I've got faith in him, so he's.
So but I think it's not about winning for me. It's more about being part of the community.
Yeah.
And just have something else than everyday life. Picking up kids in kindergarten, going to work. And the competition, you can just focus 100% on one thing, and nothing else.
So focus, I guess. Yeah.
So the way I do it with competition is that I have a kind of a theme topic that I want to talk about, that I'm passionate about, and I just try to build things around that theme. Starting maybe with coffee, going down to drippers. When we're going close to the competition, going down to water profiles. And that's maybe my weakest side, I would say, as a coffee amateur, not a coffee professional.
Well, you're a professional, you've won it, you know.
Because water you have tasted different water profiles.
Yeah. Talk to us about the water, because it's kind of an interesting.
We are using it's quite become quite popular now in Norway. We are quite lucky because everyone in Norway can use the tap water. Hemsedal, super nice tap water.
Yeah.
Oslo, super nice tap water. So we don't think about water when we make coffee. But when we go to competitions, it's all about getting out most of the coffee that you can possibly do. So then we actually demineralize water and add minerals to the water.
Right.
I'm using Apex small droplets from Apex Lab in Australia. Simon got in, and it just makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I've tasted it. It was massive difference. Yeah, it was night and day. Yeah. And that's with more magnesium.
Yeah, I think we need to invite Simon to talk more about water, because that's his game. I'm not a super water geek, but it makes a big difference.
Yeah. Because
even if you're not competing, or if you just make coffee at home, water is actually 98% of the beverage. So if you have a bad, low quality water, the coffee will not taste great. So that's why we do that in competition.
And what about roasting leading up? Maybe is it a 3-day, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? What's been your go-to?
You just have to test. It also depends on the roaster. Some roaster need like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to open up, and it's not easy to find that sweet spot. Sometimes you can have, and that's also maybe the reason why I'm not able to quit, because it's always something that it's changing, and it's always something that we wanting to learn. And one competition coffees is very, very complex. One day can be super, super complex, super, super juicy and fruity. 2 days after can be completely flat, and you don't understand why. So that's a challenge, but also fun.
What about grinding? Do you grind before, an hour before? Or?
Depends. I'll say maybe 20 minutes before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else though for people at home, or you can?
I think for people at home a little bit curious about brewing coffee, go to YouTube, watch. Just type in Brewers Cup or barista.
They'll find you, I guess.
Find me. I never watch my routines again when I'm done with it. I forget it when I'm done with it. But go to YouTube, watch maybe Agnieszka Rowiecka from Poland. She was the 2018 barista champion in the world, and that routine was just, it was so brilliant.
Perfect, yeah. Flawless.
And also Mikhail Jasin, he was the barista champion from last year.
Yeah.
That routine, you just
gives you hairs,
yeah.
And then what about, I've heard like a lot of people have coaches. Is this?
Yeah, that's also a thing.
Yeah, coffee coach.
It sounds a little bit weird, coffee coach, but yes, we do. I have a coffee coach this time from Poland called Igor. So he's coming to help me. Nice. I also work with Julian at Rebel. He's super, he knows everything about coffee.
Yeah.
It's all about finding the small details that we can improve to win, hopefully, or just be as best as possible.
Nice.
So, and we train a lot. It's sports, actually. Coffee is sports.
Yeah, it is a sport, yeah. Like I know was at the last WBC for barista. He was competing. It took him like a year, and he trained every day, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I heard from, I think you actually have his coffee now, Diego Campos. He
Yeah.
won the World Barista Championship a couple of years ago.
From Colombia.
And he was training, I think it was training the last 3 months, 10 days.
Wow.
10 hours each day
Okay, so
for 3 months.
it's dedication.
So
yeah.
that's dedication. So think about if you're brewing coffee at home, think about if you were to brew coffee 10 hours a day for 3 months.
Yeah.
And just repeat.
Yeah.
Then you get the. Also, actually, there's a competition called cup tasting. That's about finding. You have triangle sets of three coffees, and it's all about finding. And you have 8 sets of coffee. It's all about finding the one that is different, and it's just
Super technical.
Yeah, super technical. Interesting to watch actually. And he was from Hong Kong, and he was been training for cup tasting, the world championship in cup tasting, and he hadn't eat anything else than white bread and water for 3 months to not ruin his taste palate. So that's dedication.
Okay. And talk to us. Talk to the people at home. What is the benefit for doing this? Like, what's the outcome? Is there, I mean, is there a golden prize at the end, or is it fame, glory? Like, why is everyone internally
That's a very good
obsessed
question.
with like winning?
That's a very good question. I think you get a lot of fame, of course, when you win. You get to travel, you get to meet people, you get to go to coffee events, and
So
you
you
get to pay.
sponsorships.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah.
My friend Martin that won the Brewers Cup in Chicago in 2024, I think he has been traveling 250 days last year.
Okay.
So
Is your wife gonna let you do that if you win?
No. I'm not going to win the world. So that's not going to happen.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with that. I think.
Thank you.
So that's Tuesday. This Tuesday coming up.
Yeah.
The 16th.
Yeah.
Of,
18th
of
to 20th, yeah.
March, and then if you win that, you go to the finals.
Then I go to the
2 days later?
to Thursday on the finals, and if I win, the guy that win goes to the World Championship in Jakarta in May.
Okay, exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, wish him the best of luck. Maybe leave a comment below, and yeah.
And if you have any tips for me, please send it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And just to finish, we're going to brew this month's subscription coffee for the club members. It is a washed. It's one of actually my favorite coffees from last year, which is a washed Rwanda from Abadatezuka. I think I'm saying that right. I met the producer at World of Coffee in Copenhagen last summer, Christopher. The varietal is a Bourbon. It's I think the altitude's up at 1850, 2,200 around there, so it's quite high. Tasty notes. It's got this really nice sweetness, oolong tea. Uli's going to brew it now, and we're going to brew it on the V60 switch, which actually is my favorite brewer these days. So Uli can talk to us about his brew recipe. What else? Yeah, this is the second or third year we've had this coffee from the same co-op. Yeah, there's something about Rwandan coffees we just really like. I think they're the most underrated of all the African nations. It's just a really nice, easy drinking, pleasant coffee. You don't really need to think too much about this. It's just lovely, yeah. So
everyone's talk about Kenya and Ethiopia when we talk about African coffees, but maybe we forget about
I totally agree. Like Rwanda's definitely, if anything, actually overtaken as my favorite in terms of Kenya. Okay, Ethiopia is still maybe top dog, but yeah.
I think the problem with Ethiopian coffees lately have been that there have been some challenges with shipping. So we have seen actually aged coffees arriving to Norway, not tasting very good.
Okay.
So I think Rwanda has a lot to offer. Now we're using the switch. I'm using 20 grams of coffee to 300 mils of water. I think one of the benefits with the switch, I think, is that you can combine immersion and percolation. You get a little bit more out of the coffee if you use both instead of using a regular V60. It's also very easy. And
this coffee is sourced through Cafe Imports, our partner. So yeah, we actually took this coffee to World of Coffee, and we're invited as a guest roaster with Cafe Imports and with Tone, and we used this coffee, and everyone really liked it. I think it was, we didn't see a lot of Rwandan coffees on the showcase, so it was kind of fun to bring it. And, yeah, and we have it again, so I think members are going to really like this coffee.
Yeah.
And then so you open? I saw you open it and closed it, and then
we can put the recipe in the comments.
There's no freestyle, is it?
No freestyle. So this dripper has become quite popular lately. I think for people wanting to buy one dripper, I think the switch is the thing.
It's the most popular people buy now,
because then you can do full immersion, you can do combinations, and you can do only open, so it's really flexible. So I think if you were to buy one dripper, buy this one.
This one, It's almost, you get 2 for 1.
Definitely. We have seen some different immersion drippers, like the Clever is famous, of course.
I haven't tried that one,
and April has a hybrid dripper. I've not tried it, but I think the Switch is very good.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy in terms of like you can take it apart to put in the dishwasher. Don't want to lose that steel ball though, right?
Yeah, that's important.
But yeah, and then what about in terms of drawdown time? 3.5 minutes?
Yeah, around. I think we'll aim for around 3 minutes and 10 seconds, around that.
So this coffee, we're roasting it actually next week. So it'll be shipped out next week as well. And how we do with the subscription, guys, is if you want to join, we'll have enough for this coffee. Some coffees we don't, just because they're micro lots. We only get a certain amount. But this coffee we do. So if you want to join, you just sign up, check out on the website. You can choose up to 6 bags. And then you can choose, let's say you have an espresso machine, you can have 1 espresso blend bag. Then you can get 1 filter. Or maybe you just drink filter coffee at home, you can get the house filter, which is pretty popular. People like that kind of cozy drinking. And then maybe a new coffee of the month. So you can kind of cater to what you like at home. And I think the best coffee is what you like, not what I like.
Definitely. And that's maybe not competition coffee.
Yeah, I mean, they might taste like a competition coffee for someone who's never had into specialty.
Beautiful, yeah.
So it's...
beautiful, well integrated acidity, sweetness, vanilla, oolong tea, really nice.
Yeah, the oolong tea and the vanilla kind of stand out to me.
Yeah.
I think there was almost some panela, or I think Cafe Import's description was panela, which is a fruit, but I've never had that, so I don't really know what that flavor is. But.
So for people wanting to try our coffee, go to the website. And what's the website?
www.scandinavianhopscoffee.com. And then you just click on Mountain Resuce Club. And then you'll get a newsletter about the coffee, the farm notes.
Get my recommendation about how to brew it.
Exactly. You'll get Ole Christian's brew recipes. What else? They'll get a little bit of news of what's going on around here in Hemsedal. Maybe coffee's coming down the line, down the pipeline. What else? You'll usually get a free gift with that subscription, a cupping spoon, which is kind of fun. So yeah, I think it's a great gift to give someone for coming into Easter, for the holidays.
Definitely. And I think we are always here to help. So if people need help brewing their coffee, just send us a message on Instagram, and I'll do my best to answer.
Yeah, we're always there for our club members.
And what we say, people like us,
folks like us drink coffee like this. Yeah.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.